everybody, happy Wednesday. I am so excited about today's video. Welcome to all my new subscribers and welcome back to those who continue to tune in from week to week. Today I have a fun collaboration for you video today. very fun and exciting, and I'm so happy to share this outfit with you today. As you saw by the video, the intro there, just a lovely piece. And so yeah, let's jump into it. And before I forget, today I am wearing the Cashmere Lynx shirt dress. Absolutely love this. I have a whole separate video about this, but it has been a while since I wore this. I love this, love those pleats in the back. But anyway, I will link to that video where I talk more about that in the iCard. Many of you have asked if I knew about Muna and Broad and everything, and yes, I think I mentioned that in a few videos back, but yes, very familiar with who they were in the pattern company. And so initially I was planning on getting something from them, but lo and behold, guess what? I won a pattern from them. If you all follow, and I'll pop up on the screen, let me scoot over here. I'll pop up on the screen So Over 50's Instagram feed. But if you do not follow So Over 50, you know, do not have to be 50 to follow them or for them to repost anything that you make or anything like that. But it's a really nice sewing community over there. And so they were running a 20,000 subscriber milestone giveaway, and so part of the giveaway was there were several prizes, but if you wanted to, and the gist of it was sewing a pattern with someone that you would like to meet in real life but you haven't, and so that was kind of the theme. And then you got to choose what pattern you would be most interested in, and if it was plus size, to pick the Muna and Broad. And so I was tagged by Divine Dita. If you don't know her, here is her Instagram feed, and you need to check her Instagram feed out. She doesn't have YouTube, so you will have to go over onto her Instagram feed to see her variations of this look and different things that she have done. So yeah, definitely go check her out. She is absolutely, I think you all know I've talked about her before on several occasions. So absolutely love her. Thank you, Dita, for tag me on this, and we won, so I'm so excited to share with you my look today. And then I will pop up a couple pictures of her look as well throughout the video. So let's talk about what we picked up from Muna and Broad. So we both were interested in doing the cami and dress, so it's called the Nullabor Cami and dress pattern. And so and I'll pop up here also information on the Muna and Broad website, so you will be able to see. And I'm just looking at my notes. They are a modern sewing pattern for plus size sewists, so that is their market niche. And their sizes range from a 40-inch to a 64 bust. And then their hip sizes from a 41.5 to 71.5 inch. So very good size inclusive pattern company. You know, I've already talked about them on my new pattern releases, a different pattern that they had introduced. I think that was my video from last week. I will pop that up just in case you want to see some new plus size pattern releases that I was excited about. But at any rate, for the Nullabor, just a little bit about it. It is described as a good scrap busting project, which I will agree with. It says all are bra friendly. Now I did have a little bit of a challenge with that, but I'll talk to you about that. Some of that was user error. And so you do have a couple options with the pattern, which I like. View A is cut out on the straight grain for a clean look, and then view B is cut on the bias for a more draped silhouette look, and so is view C. And I did view B and view C. I did B as a muslin, and then I did view C in my fashion fabric. And so, as I said, the sizing definitely very size inclusive for your bust and waist areas. And so you will be able to grade between sizes, which I absolutely love. I love grading between sizes. You all know that I like that. The size that I picked for this particular look was the size, I believe it's size I. It starts at size 3I, and then size 2I, then size I, and then it goes size 1, 2, 3, and then up from there to size 8. And so I did a size I, single I, which is a bust of 48, a waist of 44, and a hip of 51.5. Now my full bust is actually a 50. However, when looking at the finished garment measurement for the 48, the finished garment measurement is 54 inches at the bust, and then the hip is at 62.5. So you're looking at 6 inches of ease, 10 plus inches of ease for that hip area. So I knew I didn't want it to be overly loose fitting at the top, because if I chose my size based on my full bust measurement at 50 for size 1, that would have put me at a bust of 56 at the top. So that was way too much ease. That would have been way too much ease for me. So I opted to go down. And so I at first did a oh, let me tell you a little bit about the fabric, because that is important when I show you this muslin. This fabric is designed to use with a wide variety of light, medium weight woven fabrics. The suggested fabrics are light to medium weight linen, a cotton lawn, silk noil, silk satin, crepe de chine, tencel, Q-Pro, viscose, I don't know what Q-Pro is, viscose blends, or rayon challis. And then it says for view B, the view that I did for B and C, more things are cut on the bias, is definitely suggested to use more drapey fabric. Yeah, let's put a pin there. I'll be talking about that in a moment. So the cami is drafted for a D cup, and so what that means is there's a 4-inch difference between your over bust and your full bust. And so if your measurements are a little bit different or above from that, then you may need to do a full bust adjustment or a small bust adjustment. Now, here's the thing for me, what determines if I still need to do a full bust adjustment, even for size inclusive patterns like this, if I can grade between sizes and do that as opposed to worrying about doing a full bust adjustment, I will do that. That's just my preference. If I can just do a tweak that way, saves a lot of time, and then I'm good to go. So here is, first, let me share with you before I go into my final look here. Here is the muslin for the cami that I did for view B. Okay, so here is the muslin, wearable muslin for the cami. And I just placed my straps in place. Just want to show you how this is looking. Now, with the muslin, I know better. You should use very similar fabric to the fabric that you're going to be wearing. This is super stiff, and I don't remember the content of this. I've had it in my stash for years, and so I figure, oh, I'll just do it in that since it's cut on the bias, blah blah blah. But no, it's a little too stiff, so I don't know that I'm getting a perfect representation of this. And you do hear my fan because it is hot. But anyway, so this is how it's looking. And my, let me see, can you see that? My guesstimation for where I extended the front, the 5 inches, I think I measured from the wrong, I forget, I'll have to look at my pattern piece, but the back is hitting perfect where I would want it to hit, but the front is a couple inches too long in the front, so I think I just measured that wrong, so I'll have to clean that up when I finish this. But for the most part, this is fitting fine. I'm liking how the bust is fitting. I didn't want anything, well, when I'm in my regular fabric, this will all be a little bit more drapier looking, but it's not tight. I don't feel like it's tight. It's just stiff because I used the wrong fabric. But anyway, and that is the back. Hopefully you can see. I think I'm fine with the strap placements. One strap is longer, will be shorter than the other. I don't know if you all experience that, even with your bras, that you might have to tighten one side longer than the other because you have, you know, different size breasts for some of us. And so this side has to be shortened more than this side. So yeah, but I am liking that. I'm gonna go ahead on and finish this up. I don't think I have any adjustments I want to make on it. This bra, I may wear a different bra with the final. It is showing just a little bit on this side, but this side is fine. But again, this side for me, especially with bras and stuff like that, always fall just a little bit different. But anyway, we're gonna go with it. Okay, so as you can tell, there was a little bit of a fit issue, and I'll pop up some final pictures here in just a moment of how this ended up fitting me after I did level off the bottom. I do like the way it hit at the bottom. I did figure that where I was measuring, where I needed the length, I measured that on the wrong area of the pattern, so it was longer if you saw that in the front than it was in the back. But at any rate, I do love the way the pattern, when I did the muslin, I do love the way the pattern went together. Of course, for this first look, I wanted to do follow as instructed for my first look. There might be a couple changes I will make in future looks, but at any rate, it does have the facing. Now, a lot of people I know may or may not like facings. You don't have to do that. You can use bias binding instead of facing. For me, I was fine with the facings. I really wanted to see how the facings come together. I don't know about you all, but for me and facings, for whatever reason, the back, the side, or something don't match up, and it's usually me or something I've done for it to be off. But for this look, not off at all. Not off at all. It came together beautifully. The side seams matched up because you do stitch in a ditch on the side, on both sides, and then on the back as well. I am totally fine with the facing pieces. I have no issues with doing facing pieces, but again, you might optionally lengthen your facing piece if you want maybe it to be fully lined, or you might want to just use bias binding and skip the facings altogether. But I will say the instructions are so super easy. The straps went in beautifully. I like how wide the straps are on this. I would say that it covered my bra strap, but it did not. As you can tell, for this one, I'll pop up a picture here, did not cover my bra strap at all. It was really off center. Now this is why, because I used the wrong type of fabric. This, I figured, you know, this fabric had been sitting in my stash forever. I've had this is from Fabric Mart from years ago, but I was like, oh, I'll just make it up in that. Well, it was way too, as you saw in the muslin, way too structured of a fabric to be doing that type of top. I did fold under twice the hem and just finished it off that way, but I do like the way it finished off. Looks really nice and clean. However, I will be donating this because there is no fixing. It's just showing too much of my bra on the side. And again, that is the fabric. Now, when I knew I was moving on to my final one, which I'll go into here, I was like, ooh, am I gonna have that same problem? But because I use this beautiful fabric from You Fine Fibers, you all know I've just recently talked about them in a haul. It's the sand washed rayon that I talked about. I'll link it again down below, but it's the sand washed rayon that I had already talked about. And I figured with a little bit more body and movement and drape in the sand washed rayon, I think it should be fine with that area around the bust. Now, here is the final dress. I absolutely love this fabric. What I will say about this fabric is, as with rayon, it is shifty, and you want to be careful that it doesn't grow on you. So when I cut this out, because the pattern pieces, I will say I did not trace the pattern piece for the dress. I did for the top, but not for the dress. As a matter of fact, let me show you why I did not trace it. Here is the front pattern piece. The front piece is all one piece, and I did send this to PDF Plotting, but you still have to tape the two pieces together. So this is way too much for me to be tracing off, so I decided just to cut it out directly. One thing I will do in the future, as some of you have already probably said to yourself while watching the video, why didn't you just fold it in half and just cut it on the fold? Yeah, I will do that in the future. But again, I wanted to just pull the pattern together and just go through it that way. I did make adjustments on it. For the dress version, I only lengthened it by 3 inches. Here's another thing also about the pattern. There is no shorten and lengthen line. So I had to guesstimate where the waist seam was. And so I measured 5 inches below the bust start, and then I lengthened from there. That seemed to work out fine. And so yeah, so do keep in mind you don't have a lengthen and shorten line, which might be, if I would say, the only down part to the pattern is there's no shorten and lengthen line. And so you will have to determine. You can always hold the pattern up to you as well, and then kind of mark where that where the waist would hit you from the pattern based on the size that you selected. So, and then the back piece is you cut out 2 pieces. Now, because you are cutting this on the bias, your fabric has to be wide enough for this. And my fabric was. My problem came in once I laid it flat, because obviously I had to lay it flat. My problem came in is I still didn't have enough of the fabric. And so I did have to do a little Tetris. I don't know. Yeah, it's way at the bottom. It's this. I don't know that you can see that. Let's see. You probably can't tell. You can't tell, but I did have to do just a little bit of a Tetris on the bottom piece of the back of the dress, just to make sure that, you know, I got the whole skirt back. Or dress back. But I love the absolute drape of this. It feels good because it was hot today. I took pictures in this, but it feels absolutely beautiful wearing. I also felt like this fabric would be perfect to steam once it's because again, I won't be drying this. I did wash and dry it when I first got the fabric on cool, but going forward, of course, I'll just, you know, wash it. But I thought once it hang dries, it'll probably be a little wrinkly. I thought it would be perfect to hit this up with the steamer. So if you guys have a suggestion for a handheld steamer, I don't want an industrial one or anything like that. Waywack probably has something, but a handheld steamer I thought would be nice, because it's just so, it just feels like one of those fabrics that need to be hit with some light steam to knock out any wrinkles instead of pressing it, because again, I would want to be careful with the iron not to accidentally, even though, you know, I have the protector on the iron, not to leave a scorching mark or anything like that. But at any rate, I did same thing here, turned it up at the bottom. Also wanted to mention that this fabric was perfect for French seaming, so I did French seam all of the seams for this project, and it turned out beautiful. I did not lengthen the facings. Again, I left the facings as drafted. I didn't lengthen them or anything like that. So yeah, I like the way it turned out. It does have a center back seam, so you can play with that if you felt like you needed a little bit of a sway back. That will be easy to fix because you do have that that back seam. I felt like my darts hit at the right spot. You can barely see where they are, but I felt like the darts hit at the right spot. Now, so far as covering up my bra, what I did for this picture, it was not as far off, and I thought I took pictures of before and after, before I pinned it and after I pinned it, but I don't have a before. But trust me when I say it's not as far off as that, because this fabric is much more fluid. But it showed about, I say, a ½ inch where my bra strap was. It still came over. So a couple things I believe I will need to do is adjust the front piece as well as the facing out a little bit more here, just to get a, based on where my bra strap sit, just to get more coverage there, because it fit fine around my breast, and I do like the way it hit in the back. Even though you can see a little bit of my bra strap, that's just a matter of I can take up the strapping in the back, but I actually like the way that draped in the back. But I would need to adjust this ever so slightly, just because the way my bra strap fit. And I am working on bras, you guys. That things with bras just take me a little bit longer. So once I finish my next bra in the fit, and I'm gonna try stuff like this on with it just to see. It could just be the design of the bra that I had on when I wore this, that it showed, that much of it showed. We shall see. But at any rate, that may be a few, I did mark that down, that will probably be a potential adjustment. But once I finish my next bra, I'll try this on again just to see, because again, it could have just been the design of that bra. So yeah, I absolutely love this dress. And Dita's dress turned out well, she didn't do a dress, she did the top. Her top is so cute. Her embellishments, I'll pop up a couple pictures here. Just so cute the way she styled it with the pants. And Dita always take beautiful pictures. She always go to really nice areas to take her pictures. You guys, I usually take my pictures, as you know, in my backyard, or there's a little park around the corner from my house, or not too far from my house, I should say. But anyway, love the way Dita top turned out. And thank you again to Sew Over 50, and thank you again to Muna and Broad for the opportunity to sew this pattern up. Thank you again for the gift, greatly appreciate it. And yes, I do recommend this pattern. I do highly recommend this pattern. I like the fact that you have the option of, the pattern comes with the option already to do a dress, so you don't have to worry about, oh, let me lengthen it to do a dress. You don't even have to worry about that. The pattern already comes with those options. I like that it comes with the options to cut it on the straight grain or on the bias. And so you do have variety there. It's a very, very good pattern. And so yeah, I think just looking at my notes, everything in the pattern was very straightforward. They mentioned in the pattern, and again, this is perfect for a beginner, trust me, it really is. They do talk about the dart placement, and they talk about drilling a hole or something in the fabric. I didn't do that at all. I just put the dart in. I just sewed the dart up like I normally do, and so you can do that as well. So yeah, that is it. Make sure you go check out Sew Over 50's Instagram page, as well as Divine Dita's Instagram page, and check out the looks. Again, thank you so much, everyone. This was so much fun, a fun collaboration. And so yeah, you all know my favorite color, the shoes, all of that was just, and this is a mauve. This is not purple, but it looks purple to me, and so I was like, I'm gonna go with it. And so I'm happy the way I had styled it and everything. So that is it. I will link to the pattern down below. I will link to the fabric down below, this fabric, and I will also link to Divine Dita's Instagram page, as well as Sew So Over 50's Instagram page, and as well as Moon and Broad's Instagram page. So you'll see everything down below. And that is it. Thank you everybody so much for tuning in today. I greatly appreciate it. Stay tuned for Sunday. I have a very nice treat coming up on Sunday. All these next few videos are going to be fun, so just stay tuned. But the one coming up on Sunday is one of the patterns I talked about in my new plus size pattern releases. So if you missed that video, go ahead and check that out in the iCard. And yeah, I will see you on Sunday. Bye.